Welcome to the Menopause Conversations podcast. My name's Angela Council and I'm your host for this podcast, and this is where you learn all about menopause, what is happening to your body, to your hormones, and life in general. Everything is changing and sometimes it can seem really confusing, but this is where the confusion stops right now. This podcast will share with you everything you need to know about how you can navigate your menopause transition with ease. So sit back and enjoy the show. Bye for now. We're up to our next video in the Hormones 101 series. Actually, we're almost at the end. And today what I want to talk to you about is the role that your liver plays. Now, many of you probably don't even realize that the liver has anything to do with your hormones, but it is a very important part, particularly when it comes to balancing out your hormones. The liver creates cholesterol. And I know that there's a lot of fear around cholesterol, that if our cholesterol levels get too high, well, then we're at higher risk of having a heart attack, all of this type of stuff. And yes, there is that risk. And so what's been happening is then doctors have actually been prescribing medication to lower cholesterol down to very low levels. And what's happening is it's throwing your hormones out of balance, because cholesterol is very important. Cholesterol is actually what our hormones are created from, because so cholesterol creates steroid-based hormones. And our reproductive hormones, our stress hormones, many of our hormones are all steroid-based, and they're actually made from cholesterol in the liver. So it is important that we have healthy levels of cholesterol so that the liver can then make the hormones that are required. So the liver is where hormones are created and where they're broken down. So it's a little bit of if we think of it's like a manufacturing plant, everything kind of comes in and then the raw ingredients are sent out to different places. Hormones are then made, and then what's not required is sent back to the liver to get rid of. And this is what the liver does. It's designed to really it kind of starts the process off. So it makes the cholesterol, so the cholesterol can then be turned into hormones to be used in different parts of the body, and whatever's not used goes back to the liver and the liver gets rid of it. Now, I have spoken about us being exposed to hormones from externally, so xenoestrogen, xenohormones, or endocrine disruptors. I spoke about that earlier in the hormone series. And these hormones can actually take the place of our natural hormones and give us what, particularly when we're talking estrogen, give us what is known as estrogen dominance. And that causes a lot of symptoms. And I spoke about estrogen dominance in an earlier video as well. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that as well. But the liver regulates this. So when there's too much of this toxic estrogen in the body, ideally what happens is it passes to the liver and the liver gets rid of it. But if the liver isn't working properly, if it's not working optimally, sometimes what can happen is that estrogen can get recycled and get put back into the body. So it's important that the liver's working properly, and also not just with hormones, but also with different chemicals and toxins. The liver needs to draw them out, so take them out of the body system, out of the blood, process them, and then get rid of them. Because if it stays within the body, then we've got all this stress going on in the body, because we've got toxins going on, we've got an immune system that's responding, which is then throwing out our hormones. So all these things are happening. So it's really important that our liver is working properly. But unfortunately, many women's livers are not working at optimal level, and this is due to our lifestyle. Women over the age of 45 are the highest consumers of alcohol in our society, particularly when we're talking wine and things like that. We are putting toxins into our body at a regular basis, and this is the consumption of alcohol. As your body changes and as your hormones change, your liver's ability to be able to process that alcohol has decreased. Alcohol is a toxin. It is a poison to the body. And when you drink alcohol, what happens is the liver basically goes into overdrive to break that down, to get it out of the body as quickly as possible. The reason being is because it's a toxin to our brain. It's a neurotoxin, and alcohol can pass through the blood-brain barrier. Not a lot can get through that barrier, but alcohol can. So it has the potential then to cause brain damage. So the liver is doing its job to protect the brain and protect the body by breaking it down. Now, it needs a lot of specific nutrients for this to happen, and zinc, magnesium are two of the nutrients, plus B vitamins are required for the process of breaking this alcohol down and getting rid of it. Now, those nutrients are also required to create our reproductive hormones and to support our adrenal glands. So those nutrients are required for other processes within our body. But if our body's spending every single day actually time trying to break down alcohol and get rid of it because you're having a glass of wine every day, then your body is not able to do what it needs to do with hormones, managing stress and all of that. Hope that's making sense. So one of the big things, and this is such a barrier for so many women, and whenever I say it, there's a lot of barriers go up. I like alcohol. I enjoy alcohol. Why can't I drink alcohol? Well, you can. It is a choice. But no, I'm providing you with the information so that you know the impact that drinking that alcohol has on your body and on your hormones and the symptoms that you experience. So, you have a choice. You have that glass of red wine after dinner, or you can struggle to sleep at night. Now, to know whether or not, one of the ways that we can determine how well our liver is working, obviously there's lots of tests that you can get done, but your sleep patterns will give you some really big clues. If you tend to find that you wake between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. With hot flushes or night sweats, or just not feeling really well, or you're awake, you need to go to the toilet or something like that, that's an indication that your liver is not working as well as it could do. So between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. is liver time. And in Chinese medicine, they talk about liver time. So this is part of our biological clock, our circadian rhythm. It's when the liver is basically processing at its highest. That's when it's doing its work. And if there's a lot of toxins to the body to get rid of, it basically heats the body up. So, and it can wake you up. It can have you tossing and turning. So if you're noticing on a regular basis that you're waking at that time, is an indication that your liver needs a little bit of work. So it is important that you support your liver, because when you've got a healthy liver, you then have healthy hormones, and not just your reproductive hormones, but your stress hormones, your blood sugar hormones. All of your hormones will get balanced if your liver is working properly. And when it comes to the toxins that keep being recycled through the body because the liver isn't working properly, it causes insulin resistance, it causes inflammation, it causes stress. And I've spoken about this, I spoke about this last week. They're the three things that cause the symptoms that you're experiencing as you come through menopause. It really is not to do with the hormones dropping, it's to do with inflammation, insulin resistance, and stress. They are the real causes of the weight gain, the hot flushes, the foggy headedness. All of those symptoms are due to those three things, and the liver plays a role in that. So we need the liver to be working properly, and we need to be making sure that we're eating the right foods, and there's many other things that we need to be doing as well. Hopefully you now have a little bit of an understanding of the role that the liver is playing in balancing up your hormones, and maybe you might rethink having that glass of wine with dinner, because it's probably impacting the way that you feel and you don't even realize it. That's it from me today. From my heart to yours, infinite love and gratitude. Bye for now. Hello, it's Angela here, and I hope you enjoyed that episode of Menopause Conversations, all about the liver. Now, as I mentioned in the audio, one of the side effects of having a liver that's not working that well is this, what we call the menobelly, this weight that sits around the stomach, and no matter what it is, what you do, what you eat, it doesn't seem to shift, and it seems to have come from nowhere. And your liver's playing a role in that, and there's a few other things that are also playing a role. if you want to get a better understanding of why you've developed the menobelly and most importantly, what you can do about it, why not grab my free copy of ebook that I've written called The Secret to Getting Rid of Your Menobelly. And in there, I share with you the causes, what's happening. And it's not just about the fact you're in menopause, there's other things going on. And I also give you some information on how you can take a personalized approach to reducing your menobelly, as well as reducing any other symptoms that you might be experiencing that are often associated with menopause. So the link for that, you can go to my website, Angela Counsel, ANGELA, Counsel, COUNSEL.com, and on the homepage you'll see a button that if you push it, you can fill your details out and you'll be able to download your ebook. So The Secret to Getting Rid of Your Menobelly. And just one more thing, because I didn't mention this in the main podcast, but a lot of women don't realize that, and I'm sorry, but this is about alcohol again, but if you have one alcoholic drink at night, it stops your fat burning for the next 24 hours. Now that's really important to understand. It stops your fat burning. So if you're having a glass of wine each night with dinner, what's happening is you're putting on the weight and you're not able to lose it because your body is not able to do its job. So maybe that might be a little bit of an incentive to maybe not drink as often and to cut back on the alcohol. But that's it from me. Love some feedback. Please, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you've got iPhone, leave a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this podcast. I'd love to know what you think, or you can just come over to Instagram or Facebook at Angela Counsel and send me a message and tell me, what do you think of the podcast? Is there something that you want to know more about? Are there particular guests you want to hear from? I'd really love to know from you what it is you would like from the podcast, because I'm up for talking about anything or getting guests who are specialize in different topics. So this podcast is for you. It's so that you can get the information to support you through this time of life. So that's it from me, and I'll be back next week. Bye for now.